गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू दी चैनल। वीडियो को स्टार्ट करने से पहले वीडियो को लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें। फॉर द टॉपिक बिहेवियरल फाइनेंस यू मे रेफर द बुक्स ऑफ प्रसन्ना चंद्रा एंड डॉक्टर FC Sharma. Under the topic, we will continue our previous topic, that is the themes of behavioral finance. Under the topic Themes of Behavioral Finance, we have already discussed the first two themes in our previous videos, that is heuristic driven biases and frame dependence, that are already available on the channel. In today's video, we will discuss the third theme, that is emotional and social influences. Under the topic Emotional and Social Influences, we discuss that emotions and societal factors, that is, herd instincts, are an important part of decision making, especially when the decisions involve high degree of uncertainty. This topic, emotional and social influences, include two parts. First is emotional influences and second one is the societal influences or the herd instincts. The very first one, that is emotional influences. Emotions have a bearing on risk tolerance, and risk tolerance influences portfolio selection. Investors experience a variety of emotions as they consider alternatives, decide how much risk to take, watch their decisions, and assess whether the initial strategy needs modification. And they learn how far they have succeeded in achieving their financial objectives. For the emotional influences, the psychologist Lola Loeb has given an emotional timeline. This emotional timeline suggests that investors experience a variety of emotions, positive and negative, as is visible on your screen. This is the emotional timeline. On the left hand side lies the investment decisions, whereas on the right hand side lies the investment goals. The positive emotions are shown above the timeline, whereas negative emotions are shown below the timeline. On the positive side, hope becomes anticipation, which finally converts into pride. Whereas on the negative side, fear turns into anxiety, which ultimately leads to regret in the investment decision making. Hope and fear have a bearing on how investors evaluate alternatives. The downside perspective emphasizes security, whereas the upside perspective focuses on potential gains. According to the psychologist Lopes, these two perspectives reside in every one of us as the polar opposites. They are often not equally matched, as normally one pole tends to dominate the other. The relative importance of these conflicting emotions determines the tolerance for risk. Next, we have social influences, or what we call as herd instincts. There is a natural desire on the part of every human being to be a part of group. Because of this the group induces one to decide on feel of the group rather than on independent analysis. This tendency increases the decisions involving high uncertainty. In 1992, a paper was published in the Journal of Political Economy, as was given by Sushil Bhikchandani, David Hirschfelfer, and Ivo Welsh. According to them, there is a concept called information cascade, which leads to overreaction. This concept states that private information people normally ignore their private information but takes cues from the actions of others, which promotes psychological biases, and a small bit of new information can cause rapid and wholesale change in behavior. This observation appears very appropriate for financial markets, which are constantly bombarded by new information. In such markets, information cascade leads investor to overreact to both good and bad news. Good news creates the stock market bubble, whereas the on the opposite side it leads to stock market crash. So the market corrects itself eventually, but it also reminds us that the market is often wrong. So these are the parts of the emotional and social influences, as part being the themes of behavioral finance. Thank you.